camera companies just don't care about photography anymore. And to be honest, there's good reason for that. So in today's video, I just want to talk a little bit more about this topic since I actually think it's really interesting, and I'd like to sort of shed a little bit more light on why this actually might be the case. As everyone knows, social media nowadays is heavily focused on video content, and that is with Reels, that is with the short form content, that is with YouTube videos, and ultimately as well, I feel like a lot of our clients are starting to expect video more so over photo because of that. Because of course, if they're going to try and build their brand online, then they want to be making videos more than they want to be taking photos. Statistically speaking as well, you'll find that you get a lot more traction on social media when you are posting videos over photos nowadays, and this is no accident. It's obvious that all of the social media platforms have changed their algorithms to actually favor video content, since ultimately it means that users are spending more time on their platform, and that's what they want. They want you to spend more time searching and perusing around on whatever the app is. So ultimately it means that photo has taken a massive sort of step back in the eyes of marketing, collateral and stuff for big companies, and also for any of the clients that you will encounter in your days of shooting, because ultimately everyone wants to reach as many people as possible. And that means that if these online platforms are choosing to favor video over photo, then it makes the most financial sense for them to spend money on video content. Another thing as well is that photographers don't really care about specs as much as the video guys do. I mean, ultimately, I think that, the sort of tech for photography has sort of plateaued in a way, in a sense that we sort of know, if you're shooting sports, for example, exactly what you'd need. You go get a camera that can shoot a high burst rate with a mechanical shutter, for example, and there's already bodies out there that have been serving this purpose for years and years. I feel like photography has sort of been at a really good place for quite a long time now, and I would even feel comfortable taking a DSLR from 2013 and going out and shooting stills of it, because I know that I'll still get some pretty decent results. So in a way, I feel like once you've sort of made the autofocus as good as possible, you've got really good burst rates with your mechanical shutter and all that sort of stuff, then photography sort of plateaus. It gets to a point where you can't really improve too much more. Also, if you look at modern cameras and how they've evolved over the years, you'll see that photography as a medium is a lot older than video is, and that essentially means that there's been a lot more time for the tech in photography to get to where it is today. Whereas I feel like now we're in such a pivotal point with video specs and stuff, so it means that companies are really able to put a lot of value into very, very small packages. I mean, even the camera that I'm shooting on now is the S5 II from Lumix, and that camera can shoot 6K open gate. It can do 10-bit 422 internally, unlimited video recording, and it costs like literally £2,000. So I feel like now there's such a demand for this sort of output and what you can get in terms of the specs and stuff, that camera companies ultimately know that if they don't put all this stuff in their cameras, that they're just not going to get sales. I feel like every single time a new company releases a camera, the first thing that people will do is whine and bitch about the video specs. It's always about, oh, but there's a crop in 50p and there's this and all that sort of stuff. It just feels like video guys expect so much nowadays because the tech is just getting so good and it's happening at such a rapid pace. And ultimately, camera companies always have to listen to the consumer. The customer will always come first, in the sense that they need to be making cameras that the customer wants to use. There's no point in them, spending loads of money on research and development to create a camera that no one's going to buy. So ultimately, they're going to be looking at what people are asking for, and they'll try and make that work within the budget that they have to, make that camera. I just feel like now things are just getting a little bit silly, in the sense that we're now seeing cameras that can shoot 12K, like the Blackmagic 12K Pro, whatever the hell it's called. That does 12K video, and then Canon cameras can now do 8K RAW internally, but only for like 5 seconds because they overheat after, you press record. But aside from that, the specs are just getting absolutely crazy. And the thing is a lot of consumers out there, unfortunately, don't actually get the cameras in their hand and go, oh, I like this one. I like the image quality come out of this one. This looks fantastic. They'll just get two spec sheets, go side by side and go, well, that one can do this and that one can't. Yeah, I do think that one thing is nice though, is that all these camera companies are definitely pushing each other to make better cameras for less money. So for example, the Lumix S5 II has probably made a lot of camera companies sweat, because it's a £2,000 camera body that is very, very lightweight and has so many features. It's just packed to the rim with really good features. It's got incredible autofocus, and it pretty much has everything that any modern creator would need nowadays. So that does mean that, it sort of forces other companies to sort of, hold on to their sort of tail and try and catch up as such. So I mean, of course, it's really good for us consumers since we're actually getting a lot of value for our money nowadays. But for the camera companies, it means that all of their sort of attention and energy is being redirected to the video side of things, just to ensure that they can actually make some sales that year. I'd actually be really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this topic, since I know that a lot of people that watch my videos are primarily video focused in their work. But of course, I know there's some photographers out there as well that, you know, aren't really too interested in the video side of things. So I'd be really interested to hear the perspective from both camps, if you like. Of course, I'm in the middle because I do both, but yeah, I just think it's a really interesting topic to talk about. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about getting the most out of your Lumix bodies, or even about the upcoming releases in the L-mount ecosystem, then definitely check out my other videos, because I make a lot of content here surrounding the L-mount ecosystem in general. So if that's your vibe, check them out, and hopefully I shall see you over there.